What's up, everybody? How are you? Happy Wednesday. It is already March and the days are ticking. What do you know? We'll be looking, it's already spring, right? This is the springtime, right? So, not yet. What is it? Oh, okay. Well, that was my beautiful wife in the back that kept me abreast of what is what and what's going to be. I'm Bill Foster. That's my co-host, Kevin Branzetti. Kevin, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Hello, everyone.
It's
Good
already
evening.
yes. Um, well, what's new in the world of what we want to talk about? Everybody, first and foremost, of course, is Real Talk Chronicles. If you like it, if you watch it from YouTube, please subscribe to it. If you're watching from Facebook, please share it. Uh, we talk about all the current topics and things that are going on. Um, you know, we have 45 was just speaking not too long ago. I caught a glimpse of that. It was a joke. I don't know. Did you see it? Good.
Nope.
It didn't waste your time. I We have a mayor. I mean, not a mayor, a governor that has a slew of sexual harassment charges.
He sounds like he's in a little bit of trouble. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely. Um, I was Monday. We had Assemblyman Al Taylor, and we had Councilman Hopeful Billy Council on, and I asked them um, what was their take on if he's found guilty, should he step down? What's your take on that?
well, I mean that's obvious. If he's found guilty, of course you got to step down. You know, look, if this was 3 years ago, 2 years ago, when was the Me Too in the prime of everything?
Right, right,
He wouldn't survive. Right?
right,
Everybody
right.
was once an accusation came out, you were pretty much done.
Yeah,
We'll see. Right? I'm not a big
yeah.
fan of. Look, Cuomo's done some good things, some bad things, and some stuff in between.
Hmm.
Do I think he's a sexual predator or a serial harasser? Maybe, but I'm willing to let it play out a little bit and see. You can't just fire somebody on accusations. Makes it for a tough world.
You know what's so funny? You said something, and I see. What's up, Steph? Hey, Suzanne. How are you? You said something that makes sense. About the Me Too stuff, but you said he about resigning. We had a president that was said that he had said a lot of things and done a lot of things about women, and he didn't resign. Now, I'm just playing devil's advocate on that one. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I disagree with you at all. I'm just saying I'm playing devil's
no,
advocate.
no, I got you. Look,
Yeah.
I don't think, and we're talking 45, right? Um, I don't think his any of allegations were while he was in office, right? The stuff talked about him. Look, we all know he was a misogynist, cheating, guy. Like, that's who he
Absolutely.
was.
Right. Right. Right.
So, not a shock. It's
Hmm.
the problem with sexual harassment is when you're in a position of power and you're using that power, you know, for your advantage. Now,
Yeah.
I did not see that accusation against 45 while in
Hmm.
office. It may come up over the next months and years that he did some awful things
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but I didn't see I haven't heard any of that. Well,
Yeah. You're totally right. And Stephanie, like you said, oh my God, you're Cuomo. Stephanie, what's your take on it? You said let's forgive him and move on. He was joking. You know what? Maybe in his mind, that's what he said. He was joking, right? He said, Stephanie said, if people can't move past Trump saying grab her by the exactly pussy, they surely we can let this go. And that's a point. I think right now some people in the world are feeling like, hey,
just
like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he did it, now he can do it. I think for him being a single man, I don't know. Like I said,
yeah,
what his situation was.
it, it's
People start.
tough.
Go ahead.
It's
Yeah,
tough, right, at that age to be a single man. At my age, it's not easy.
it's
Could
that
it have
tough at
been
anything, especially in the
right?
workplace. Yeah.
What was acceptable for me and you growing up, talking to a woman, hitting on a woman, is
Mm-hmm.
completely unacceptable today, and it's not that simple. So could it have been that? Sure. Could it have
Yeah.
been where he was pressuring women who worked, for him? And that's another, that's a different category. So that's why you have to let it play out.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to see something. What's the definition of sexual harassment?
Here's the definition of sexual harassment. Behavior characterized by the making of unwelcome and inappropriate sexual remarks or physical advances in a workplace or other professional or social situation.
So,
It's the
yeah.
workplace part, right?
Yeah, it's the workplace.
That's the whole thing. It has to do with the workplace, and it's worse boss to subordinate, person in
Yeah.
power. If he's in scenarios where he was told stop it, and then he kept doing it, and then there's a problem. If he
Yeah.
ever threatened to ruin somebody's career if they talked, huge problem.
Yeah. And what's so funny though? I think in the workplace is the key component, but I think when you're single and you see an attractive woman and you say something and she doesn't feel comfortable, now it's sexual harassment. But so it's a fine line between flirting. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, matter of fact, like, okay, like, here I go. I'll go right to the source. What's the definition of flirting?
Here's the definition of flirt. Behave as though attracted to or trying to attract someone, but for amusement rather than with serious intentions.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
We need to see. Like I said, I'm more upset with him what he did with his cover up. Sounds like a cover up for the nursing home deaths.
We can talk about that too.
Then
Definitely.
the harassment, right? I think that's his real problem.
Right.
But all my ask is be consistent for people, right?
Yeah.
Don't say I'm supporting Cuomo because he's a Democrat, or don't say I'm against him because he's a Democrat. Either you're against what he did, or you're in support of saying he didn't do it. One or the other.
Yeah.
But a lot of us make our decisions based on who the target is.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that. And maybe we have some comments too, because for this segment tonight, I tagged a lot of lawyers in. So if any lawyers are listening or something, chime in. And if Kevin and I are off base or not off base, but if we don't have the law down directly, or correct us on what the law is when it deals with sexual harassment. Because like I said, I told on Monday's show, and I'm gonna get to the comments, everybody. On Monday's show, I said that I was in Bronx DA's office, told the ADA one time, I said, "Oh, you look nice." And she told me, she said, "Listen," she says, "that could be sexual harassment." And I was like, "Whoa!" Like me thinking that we had a rapport is obviously it wasn't a rapport. And I mean, truth be told, I think she really thought she was all that too. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it was more or less, and it wasn't a white woman. It was a sister, and she definitely was like, and I put that out there for a statement because I don't think she was trying to school me or help me. I think she was trying to check me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you out of bounds, if you trying to help, like I got a man, like come on, girl, like yo, I'm sitting up here. How many times I'm here 3 times a week, 2 times a week. Everybody in the Bronx DA's office was really friendly like that. We've all had great relationships. And then you had a color on, it looked nice. Oh, it's like, oh, you look nice today. Look nice in it. Oh, but you know that if sexual harassment in the workplace is if somebody feels uncomfortable, and then hit me with the like, I was like, oh, whoa, you know what? Well, that conversation from then on, I don't even think I ever spoke to her again. I was just also hi, and kept it moving. So let me read some of the comments. What's up, Dell? Steph said, if people can move, okay, I think I said that. Steph said, so why do you guys think what's the threshold for sexual harassment? Because it seems like a compliment or a joke is now grounds for sexual harassment. Steph, exactly. I think it's a fine line between what people deal with sexual harassment, even dealing with flirting. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say this as a married man, I posture what I say to women that I know, just because I don't want somebody to think that I'm trying to come on to them. I would never disrespect my wife. So I got to be very careful and say what I can say to whom I know I can say it to. You understand what I'm saying? So like Stephanie, I'm using you as an example, Adele. Like I can say to you guys, you ladies, yo, y'all look nice. You wearing that dress. You understand what I'm saying? You know I'm not trying to come on to you. But to say it to somebody else that will feel like, oh, like I remember one time, I sent a friend something uh via social media and they thought I was disrespecting them or my wife, and I was like, yo, knock it off. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So I told Malika, I was like, yo, check this out. So she was like, it's a small thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. It's a
So
tough world. So, like, all these things could be that. What we are learning, though, I think, about Cuomo, he's a bit of a bully, right? Like you're hearing things from Democrats and others coming out saying, he's threatened them. The
right,
the one guy, Kim from Queens, who lost family in a nursing home. Right? So Cuomo picked on the wrong person.
right,
That's an
right,
angry
right.
guy, and
Yeah.
he's angry over the nursing home stuff.
Yeah,
And,
let me ask you, everybody out there that's listening, what do you feel about that? Let me just finish with the sexual comment. Delcina said, if Trump can pay his prostitutes and rape women and still be president, why can't Cuomo be forgiven? Del, now that's what you was talking about, Kevin, and people talking about like, yo, what's good for the goose got to be good for the gander in one aspect,
100%,
right?
100%. But like I said, with the look, Cuomo's a better man than Trump. There's no question.
Oh yeah,
That, right?
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
He's more of a decent man than Trump. It's not even
Right,
debatable. The problem will still be if Cuomo did it anything in a malicious way when he, with the
right,
harassment,
right.
hitting on a woman here or there while he was governor, and then now her saying I didn't like it. Not the worst thing. If we find out he pushed the envelope, and threatened one of them, again, he's got to go then.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Miss K? Ketha said the sexual harassment is a cover-up. He should be prosecuted for the deaths. Wow, exactly. Cancel culture hypocrites. And I'm assuming she's talking about the deaths with the
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a real touchy subject because if people had family members in homes, you know what I'm saying, like hospice or things like that, and then all of a sudden you fudge your numbers for what?
Yeah. And the first person to come out on that was Letitia James, the Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're both fellow Democrats in New York. He supported her when she ran. And so for her to say he fudged the numbers and did some bad stuff behind it, that to me holds a lot of weight, right? That's
Right.
not a Republican saying it, and we're having Democrat Republican. If she said it against him, to me, that holds more weight and credibility than anything else.
Do you feel that? And I see it near Alice. She said, "Facts. Let's stay on the top of that too." Yeah, we're going to stay on top of that. Do you feel that uh, it's credibility because it's Democrat, or it was
Yeah, it's
just the
always
fact that
hard.
it's Patricia Drains?
Well, it's always hard to tell with politicians when they talk about a fellow politician from the opposite party. Is it politics or is it reality? But when somebody talks about their own party, a fellow member, I'm confident at that point we're talking about reality, not
Right.
politics. Right?
And I'm glad you said that because it's and I'm not going to deviate. I'm going to stay with the topic at hand, but we're going to come back to the fact that because it seemed like a lot of Republicans were scared of Trump, and they didn't really want to talk about it, and the ones that did still didn't vote against him. You understand what I'm saying? Like to impeach him. So we'll come back to that. But like Keith said, unwelcome flirt at the workplace is harassment. Heck, even welcome because if someone sees it, they can report it. Ladies, you're totally right. I think right now, you know, for a man, it really would have to be like, if he sees a woman, like
But
if she don't say hi to me, then I'm not saying anything. You know what I'm saying? If I for anybody who's single in the workplace and you see somebody that you would love to ask them out for some coffee or something, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
he's
know
in a
what to
tough
tell you.
spot because he's always governor 24/7. So he's always in the workplace,
Yep.
technically. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Lois? Lois, how are you? Good evening. Thank you. Um, Kevin said all men could posture, aka be respectful. Yeah, I mean, when you say that, what is respectful? Because if I say we work together and I see you and I say, "Hey, how are you? You look nice." That's just a compliment. You look nice.
Mhm.
Now, because when we start using the sexual harassment thing, it's just like I used it on the show last Monday. It's like if a gay man said to me, um, "I like your bow tie." If I'm homophobic, I'm gonna now if I want to really bust balls, I can say that's sexual harassment.
Mhm.
What happens if a gay woman says something to a gay man? I mean, a woman, a heterosexual woman. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
where's this fine line of you know not being sexual harassment, but just being complimentary to someone else? Also too. I mean, we're here in a world where people have work husbands and work wives. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's
Like I've
just,
seen scenarios where, uh, opening a door, right? Opening a door for a woman, which I grew up doing and I still do. Listen, I open the door for everybody, but
mhm.
there are a few women out there who find that insulting, you know, and I just kind of like,
Yeah,
giving up your seat for a woman. I've had a guy who got a complaint because he gave up his seat for a woman. She
right,
felt it
right.
was condescending. It's tough. The rules are very gray and change and depend upon the person's mood and mode and their perception. So maybe this work
Yeah,
from home thing is pretty good.
yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Kevin said, "You
Yeah.
say bully." Uh, I think she was referring. She said, "You say bully." She said, "I was saying dictator during his pandemic." Exactly. Colin, what's going on? I think ladies, they're asking you why did y'all say kill? And why did he who did he kill? Yeah, ladies, if y'all want to respond to Colin, he's asking a question. You said he killed somebody. You're talking about the people, I guess. You're referring, Colin. I think they're referring to the people in the nursing homes or places like that of that magnitude, and he didn't give up the right numbers. But I'll let the ladies answer their own questions. Um, all those, I think she said all those seniors. She said AOC said his emergency powers should be stripped, which meant how serious it is. Okay. Colin said, why is he blamed for the deaths? They died from COVID. What's up, Christina?
So
And go ahead.
with that was, look, the state made a mistake with COVID and nursing homes. When they tested positive, they sent them back to nursing homes, and then the disease spread rapidly through those nursing homes, and we've clearly learned that the elderly are susceptible to death from it, and a lot of them died. Is that directly Cuomo's fault? No, people, we make mistakes, but what it seems that Cuomo did was he lied about it, and he lied about it to the federal government on the data they were collecting to make himself look better than what
Right.
was actually going on. And we all know in politics, the cover up will always get you, right? It's always the cover up. I think if he would have just said, I wasn't the greatest superstar that I proclaimed. I made a
Mm-hmm.
mistake. Here's what happened. Lots of states made mistakes. New Jersey made mistakes with that. Washington State. There was a lot of states that made mistakes with the nursing homes, and we lost a lot of people because of it.
Yeah. Like Steph said, yeah, that's giving up your seat. That's ridiculous for somebody to think that would be, yeah. That. Kathy, yeah, you're right. It's saying that's a you look nice. That is enough. What's up, Mark? How are you? Hey, Christina. Um, what woman would not want a man to open the door for them? I do not see a gray area there. Nia, you're right. But everybody's different. I mean, it goes back to that, you know, that cliche how people say 45 lies every day. Definitely, Dulcina. It goes back to that cliche of I used to tell people when because Real Talk Chronicles was at one point was strictly about relationships. And I may have a little bit of that, go back to that conversation. But it goes back to this where a lot of times when a woman, and I said a woman, not any of you ladies, um, would say to a man, if you were a man, you would do this or you do that. You know, a man is a man. It's just a different man. You know what I'm saying? Because what I am a man for you, another woman may not look at that as being a man. They may be looking at it as soft or looking at it as being um whatever. I may do something, I may not do something for you, and you may say, oh well, I'm not a real man. So I think a lot of times we have to be careful with that kind of that dialect. And I think that's why when we talk about sexual harassment in workplace, I'm so glad that like I said, I'm in a married place and I'm not working because even still married, it doesn't mean anything. But I just think, like I said, I postured myself totally different than what I was when I was single and what I would say. You understand what I'm saying?
Huh?
Like right
Yeah.
now, I compliment my people. I don't compliment sometimes outside. Even with social media, a woman could put up a post with a butt to the camera and your hand on her hip, and if you say something like "Go on, girl," you know what I'm saying? I see you, girl. You know what I'm saying? Somebody be like, "Oh," you know what I'm saying? Yo, I don't think that was. I think you disrespecting your wife or something. So I think it's a real fine line. So I know who to say those things to.
Yeah.
Um,
Nobody.
and, yeah, absolutely, you're right. My wife gets ladies. My wife gets all your compliments. You know what I'm saying? Catherine says sometimes people make comments, and they don't think it should be okay. What's up, Felicia? How are you? I really, I
There's
mean,
a generational thing with this too, Bill. Right? You and I are
right,
close to the same age.
right,
Millennials have a different perspective on this, and I
right.
spent many years working with and supervising, millennials. They have a different look at like chivalry is
It's gone.
taboo.
It's gone.
It's taboo.
It's
They
gone.
don't
It's gone.
like it. Like it's an evil word. It's because that makes them feel it is inferior. So that's where they're holding the door, giving a seat. All that was, you had to be careful, and you just didn't do it. Um,
Yeah. And,
you know,
and and a lot of these don't even know what being chivalrous is. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it goes along with that terminology. But I like an old fashioned. I'm an old fashioned girl. I tell people, no, don't say that. Say you like, you like a chivalrous man, but don't say you old fashioned because old fashioned might mean you want to be barefoot and stay at home and not work and get told what to do and get peeled off some money. You know what I'm saying? So I tell a lot of women, be careful with that. We delving into the old school real talk now, and those are facts. Like you said, Felicia, it's a fine line at the workplace, and you know, we know that a lot of times men are not the recipient of sexual harassment, and we've seen movies where I think they tried to make it. I think it was Demi Moore and Michael Douglas with sexual harassment, and it was like, come on, because how could you turn down a fine woman? And
tell that to Malika.
I'm gonna turn you down. But see, you know what I'm saying? I That's why I got married late in life because anything I did in my life I did before. So my oats was sown. You know what I'm saying? So Stephanie said, wait. Oh no, this millennial girl likes those things. Okay, that's right. Yeah, you're a millennial girl. You like them. Well, Steph, you old school. You know what I'm saying? So see, and uh, Catherine said, Felicia, like her, yes, and people cross it and they get upset when they're checked. So, Catherine, tell me how you check people if they cross your line. Nina, Nia said, many of us like this. Oh, definitely. Stephanie says, I think it's also geographical because the South chivalry is an everyday thing. Absolutely. I I've seen guys from the South appear in the North at a bar and they'll buy a girl a drink because that's their. I always call it like a high price hello. You know what I'm saying? You buy a
Yeah.
girl a drink. Not that I'm saying I would. Well, I didn't. I didn't have to, and I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But it is a high price on low. But a man from the South doesn't have a problem buying a woman a drink. And, it is. Suzanne said men are sexually harassed. Yes, they are. They are. They are. They definitely are sexually harassed. But it's a hard thing to prove that Suzanne, that a man is sexually harassed. It really is, unless you know it is a high price. Hello, if I buy you a drink, it's a high price. Well, and I say high price because for that $10 drink, you can respond or you can't. And not that $10 is a lot, but you know what?
Depends on how many people you're saying hello to.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because there's certain guys that's gonna keep buying drinks. They got I'm gonna buy you a drink money, and then I got you. I'm gonna drink by myself money. Because uh, at a bar, easy night, if you really spending drinks for you and somebody, is $100 right now. Especially drinks, you know, fancy dancy drinks, $12, $15. I don't have too many of those. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You know what I'm saying? Um, I, yeah. Back in the day where there was plenty of harassment and it was ignored and allowed, and now it's addressed and now called out.
Yeah.
Ketha, let me ask you a question: are you for it being called out, or you feeling that it's a problem? Um, Help me out with this one because I I I have no problem with being called out. Trust me, I don't have a problem with being called out because anybody that I feel is friends or whomever, I want you to be protected. But also too, I don't want the sheep, the wolf in sheep's clothing. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't just oh, sexual harassment because he said I look nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not saying you can't go to work, with a nice dress on, but if you go in a dress with a tight dress and you hardly can walk, and a dude looks at you, you know, you wore it for a reason. You want attention. You understand what I'm saying?
And what's funny is more women will look at you than men at that point because women check out just the same. Different reasons we're checking out, but
Exactly, exactly. You know,
mm,
Nia said every day, "What's up, James Baker? How are you?" I was responding to Kevin saying it was different. It was a difference with the millennial. Oh, okay, got you.
yeah,
I mean,
it's not all millennials. It's like it's not all whatever our generation X is or Z or whatever.
yeah,
but it was there was more uh, who didn't want it in the millennial world, right? Who just thought it was offensive.
well, I
You
think
know?
when we start talking about the younger generation, um, I think who's teaching them how to be men and women. Like I said, when I've gone around the schools and and I've spoken, there's a thing that I do. Sometimes I ask the guy with his pants hanging off his behind to stand up in front of the classroom, and I ask a girl that kind of dressed kind of provocative. I think for school,
Mhm.
I don't think a girl in school should be wearing something low cut, showing her cleavage, right? Um, Everybody wears skinny jeans now, so I can't tell you what's tight and what's not tight. So with that being said, I would ask them to stand up in front of the class. So then I tell the class, I said, okay, let's go into the mindset that everybody's an adult and you have a daughter and he comes to take her out. What are you going to say? Are you co-signing that? And their class is like, no, 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 no. And let me tell you something. Everybody out here, it has not failed. I have not had one class say, yeah, I'm good with him or her taking going out with my son or daughter. They've done it with the girl. They be like, and I've seen the kids started getting into arguments, and the dudes would be like, "Yo, I thought you was my boy." He was like, "Yeah, but I don't want you dating my daughter." You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
I see the girls be like, "Yo, I thought you was girls. You don't think I'm good for your son? Nah, I know you, and look how you dress. I know how you are." So I think people exposing themselves. let's talk about, the wolf in sheep's clothing. Everybody wants presentation. You understand what I'm saying? Delsina, she wore that tight dress because she gained weight and she doesn't want to admit it. That may be true too. Exactly. Captain said that's so chauvinistic because of what someone wear, that they can justify an unexpected comment. What I'm trying to say is that we can be in the same workplace and you wear something very tight. In my mind and in anybody else's mind, we might see three different things, right? We all know we can talk about self-esteem. See, we can go into the psychological aspect of that too. So, it's not chauvinistic. We can really talk about the psychological aspect. Why were you dressing like that in a place of a work? Because that's why you have work clothes and you have party clothes. You have gym clothes, you know what I'm saying? And you have casual clothes. So there are definitions of how to dress in certain places. That's just facts. That's not chauvinistic at all. So wearing your Saturday night or Friday night party dress to work, you're going to get talked about. That's facts. Now, will somebody say it out loud? That's a whole different story. So, I mean, if anybody thinks I'm wrong on that, I'm willing to have that conversation. But the bottom line is, women talk about women if they wearing a certain outfit. Y'all shoot, girls, y'all know, y'all look each other up and down and see who got on cheap clothes and who got on cheap purses. So, I mean, this is facts. Guys do it too. Right now, that's why we live in a world around right now where you got guys, young boys, and young girls with the newest phones and didn't earn it. How'd you get it? Your parents bought it for you, so you have an entitlement going on in this world. That's facts. Christina said that's a real good lesson for these kids today. Listen, you are right on the clothing. Christina said facts. So yeah. So I mean, if if I wasn't, I don't know how you dress at work, Keitha, and no disrespect, but if that shoe fit, I apologize. Or I mean, it is what it is. I don't know, but I mean, I really don't think I, you know, ladies, you have a hard place in this world to want to still look attractive and sexy and still be considered a professional. It really is. You know what I'm saying? A man can go to work with a shirt, a tight business shirt on, and it is deemed like he has muscles. You know what I'm saying? But if a fat dude did it, you'd be like, yo, look at him. Both of them still wearing suits. Like clothes today are form fitting. That and Keta said, and that's why it's important not to judge people. Once we can stop judging people, it really shouldn't. When you really think about it, it should bother you what someone. It shouldn't bother you what someone else is wear. Absolutely, not, I agree with you on that. Uh, it doesn't fit, so I know you're sorry. Blessings, exactly. James said materialism is out of control with younger people today. Absolutely, very very much so. People are getting robbed. Now, this is where Kevin and I can really talk these facts too. We know people are getting robbed today for young kids are robbing young kids for cell phones, all kind of just stuff like that, which is crazy. So, you know, let me tell you something. There's a lot of us on here that grew up with an era where you wear them sneakers until your feet hit the ground. You start Fred Flintstone in them shits. You know what I'm
I
saying?
still do that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I grew up that way. Yes, and we're fault. It's our fault. Our kids are materialistic. We raised
Yeah,
them. We
yeah,
we decided we wanted them to have better than what we had, and we may have
absolutely.
overdid it at times. Right? We made some
I mean,
mistakes.
listen, I have all my friends, most of them have moved their kids to suburban lifestyles and say, "Oh, my kids are soft." Well, okay, for a better lifestyle, you took them away from the street knowledge. but you wanted them to have a better education, and you was fearful of them being caught up in the nonsense of the inner city schools. And the suburban schools seem like I guess they have a better teaching. I mean, I've even taught in the school system, so I know these kids are still bad. They coddle kids right now. You get a trophy for coming in ninth place. I never heard of nothing like that.
No.
You know, let me tell you something. I have a house full of trophies, and I don't. If ninth place was easy, oh my god, I I might think I was a star. You know what I'm saying? I already thought I was back then. Um, let's see. Stephanie said, let me go back to Steph. She said, this is so true. In my old corporate office, a woman from another team wore the tightest dress. Everyone talked about it. Exactly. She was dressed totally inappropriate. It's because it became a distraction. Christina, parents' priorities are screwed. Katha, yes, Kevin, I always say that head on. Um, Absolutely, Kev. Claudia, Claude, what's going on? Not just young people. Some adults have the issues as well. Materialistic, absolutely. Um, Katha, she said yes. They give absolutely no ambition for kids. Actually, put in the work. Absolutely. Ninth place. Everybody gets a trophy, win or lose. Yes. Yeah, it's a crazy thing. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-host, Kevin Branzetti, and we were talking about the governor and his sexual harassment thing. And the beautiful thing about this conversation, it veered into uh, harassment, what's appropriate and what's inappropriate at work. Um, what's the difference between flirting and not flirting. And I hope none of you ladies out here really have experienced that. I feel sorry for you if you have, because it's obviously it's a tough place because HR is not going to do shit, and it becomes a real big cluster, and you don't want to. I don't think you know just inappropriate advancements. You don't want a person to lose their job. You just want them to stop, and then it becomes a tension in the workplace. And then some of us will call our brothers, or you know what I'm saying, or call your husband or something, and it gets real ugly. Suzanne said, I have a different opinion. An adult person has the right to wear what they want. Sexy clothing is not permission to be touched or harassed. The governor should have kept his hands to himself. I'm in total agreement with you. Let me tell you something. I'm not condoning anybody, and let me just be abundantly clear with this. I'm not condoning anybody being touched, fondled, grabbed in the crotch, uh, uh, feeling uncomfortable in the workplace. And I'm not telling you that you can't wear what you want, but I will tell you, if I'm the supervisor, if I think what you're wearing is inappropriate to the work environment and the structure of what the office that we have, I can say, listen, I think you need to wear a longer dress tomorrow, or a dress that's not that tight. Please, you know what I'm saying? I just don't feel as comfortable. I don't think it's the impression that I'm trying to give off in my establishment, my business. Now, Kevin and I, we know this for a fact. We worked in uniform most of the time until we went to a plainclothes unit. What you wear to work is your own business. I've seen people come there damn near with the titties half out, the cheeks out, toes out, guys coming in flip flops, muscle t-shirts, nipples showing. I've seen it all. Once you put the uniform on, that's the way you're supposed to look. I mean, there's people out here that's in law enforcement inside this group that know. There's some people maybe at work, pants too tight. They can't pass gas before the shit split. You understand what I'm saying? You couldn't chase somebody down the street. You're a police officer. The pants are not supposed to be that tight. Like you said, like somebody said in here earlier, if you're gaining weight, go up a size. But no, that's the ego in all of us. All of us have that ego. When we see ourselves putting on a pound or two, you be like, oh, now somebody going there knowing he ain't supposed to buy no large shirt. Talking about, yeah, this is a medium. Now we come up with names for shirt, acting like we got muscles. Nah, let's knock it off, people. Let's really call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? Like like dress the way you. I mean, listen, we was taught dress for success. I mean, that's what it was, right? You
Yeah.
go for an interview. I'm sure what you wore in that interview is not to get that job is not what you wore. You know what you wear to work is not what you wore to that interview. And then what have we seen? We've seen in certain clips and things of that magnitude, somebody go for a job interview looking hot. And we know, ladies, we know there are people that have got jobs just because they look fine. Absolutely. You know, so I mean, this is a real crazy topic right here because it covers so many different avenues and spectrums of what sexual harassment is, what's inappropriate work, clothing at work. That's why kids, and this is a fun fact or factual fact. That's why there were uniforms established in schools because kids were getting beat up because they were some kids were didn't have the funds. Their parents were poor, and they couldn't afford these clothes that the new kids were wearing. And then some kids were getting jumped and made harassed. So this is where we came up with the word bullying. Right? A lot of this came from that bullying aspect. I see some comments in here. Let's see. Let's see. Sexual. Stephanie says sexual harassment has to be better outlined because if any and everything is grounds for sexual harassment, then that lessens the seriousness of it. Exactly. Delcina said HR will take the senior executive side. I work for an organization where the women was chastised for speaking up. Since the Me Too movement, that has changed now. I see you, James.
That's a
Exactly.
good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I'll tell you, as somebody who supervised people for many years in office settings, because I ran teams of analysts and things, I treated every woman like I wanted my daughter treated. And that was the mentality I kept with it, right? There was everybody's the same, everybody's equal. I wouldn't, you need somebody to help you with administrative stuff. I wouldn't allow a woman to do the administrative stuff because in the police department, right, Bill, over the years, a lot of times there's a female officer who does the admin stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even allow it if a woman volunteered because I wouldn't accept the perception that I was making a woman do the female job kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's so funny that you're saying that. I mean, like if I was a supervisor somewhere, probably if I ever met with a woman in my office, the door would be open. You know what I'm saying? I probably have a third party. Like right now, it's almost like you got to outsmart yourself just to make sure that you protect yourself. Listen, it seems like Cuomo is getting called out left and right. Let me ask you out here with a show of hands or thumbs up. If he's guilty, do you think he should resign? And if you don't, give me some thumbs down. What's up? Hey, cuz Kendra's in the building. Truth. Pinky says, say that bill. You are correct. Inappropriate attire should not be in the workplace. Exposed breast splits so high you can come to me. She said, say, Miss Robin, please say something. Exactly. Sheila E is in the building. What's up, little power? Mark said, you guys are even been around those type of people who wanted to show off their bodies, but wearing tight shirts and pants that would make their butts bigger. Absolutely. What else did Mark say? Hold on, let me see. Sexy is when you punch out. Sexy is when you punch out, not while you're on duty. Just saying, exactly. Claudia said, Kevin, most men don't think like you. They would call a woman to do the admin. Catherine, thank you. Christina, thumbs up. Exactly. Catherine and Christina, thumbs up. Yeah. A lot of people don't think like you, Kevin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's almost like
to the guys out there, and you're in a spot of supervision. That's the way you need to be, right? Like I said, I got 4 kids. I got 2 daughters. I don't want daughters ever treated inappropriately in a workplace to feel uncomfortable in a workplace.
Yeah,
So why
yeah.
would I do that to somebody else's?
And what's so funny? This is for all the ladies out there of all ethnicities. It's so hard for you to be considered equal to a man in the workplace, even to this day. So I know that from Malika being a boss. Dell, I know you're a boss. Felicia, I know you're a boss. And I'm saying a boss lady in at your positions, in corporate America or wherever you are. Pinky, like you said, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. He has two daughters, and with the Me Too movement, I don't think Cuomo is that stupid. If he is, then he needs to go. Yeah,
That's fair.
that's
That's a
fair.
fair. Yeah.
So funny. That's it's just it's crazy. Like I said, shout out to the ladies. We're in Women's Month too, so shout out to all you ladies. Claps for yourself. Put up hearts for yourself. James said, while Cuomo bashed on his Italian heritage, based on his Italian heritage, did in fact have a tendency to be touchy feely over time. But as a supervisor and as an executive, he must know that an overt familiarity can be taken in the wrong way. I'm assuming you said wrong way. Yeah, wrong way. I didn't think he should. I don't think he should resign, but the investigation must run its course. So if he doesn't resign, what do you want him to do? To run his course, and then if he's found guilty, what do you want him to? What happens to
I
then
I think if
James?
he's found guilty, he doesn't have a choice, right? Like that's if
Right,
he's
right,
found
right.
guilty of the sexual harassment, he's not going to have a choice.
And you know what's so funny, everybody? 3 months ago, or 4 months ago, Cuomo was the best thing that ever happened to the city. People were talking about he should run for mayor. I mean, run for the president.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
he couldn't
The,
do any wrong.
the fall from grace is quick in this world.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
listen, you see it. The sharks are out there swimming for him.
You know,
And what
I
I'm learning a little bit is it sounds like behind closed doors, he was a bit of a bully, and now there's some people looking to get even.
yeah.
You know,
Suzanne said, not sure yet about the governor. Need to be more knowledgeable about the evidence. I agree. I mean, it's so funny. I These are people that are coming out in the past that are saying things. A person was transferred. Two were transferred, right? I think Anybody out there help me out? Two were transferred, and think one. Are they still any of them still working in his administration, or are they all gone? All three of them gone?
I think everybody's gone.
Yeah, yeah. Sheila E says she agrees with you, Pinky. Catherine said, I never thought that. Sad. Stephanie says, sad. 1 minute they love you, the next they're plotting your downfall. Absolutely. It's he was the man. He was definitely the man for a long time, for a time.
Uh,
Everybody, like I said, thought he was the man, and now
I
it
think
just
De Blasio's one happy dude right now.
yeah,
I mean, those
yeah.
two did not get along.
No,
You
no,
know,
and and I don't know anybody. I haven't found anybody that likes De Blasio.
no,
I'm trying.
no,
I'm trying to figure it out.
no. You know
You
me,
know
but
what I'm
like
saying?
I refer to him as the great unifier. Both
Yes, he
sides hate
did.
him.
Yep. James said, then he suffers for the consequences and he has to go. But I think because he was up on a pedestal, now that he is in hot water, they're kicking him while he's down. Oh, well, definitely. They're kicking him. They're kicking him. You know, and I don't know how long does he have in term? Anybody out there know how long he has his 10 years before his 10 years up? Pinky said, if found guilty, he does have a choice. As Kevin said, however, in my heart, I think he is being set up. He pissed off 46 minus one, and money talks, BS walks. I will leave it at that. Definitely. Ketha said, I felt he was displaying dictatorship qualities from week two. From week two. Got you. So, Ketha, you're not a fan of Cuomo. I'm just asking. I just want to know, Pinky, do you like him? James, let me know if you like him. Stephanie, please give me if you like Cuomo, give me a thumbs or a minus because Claudia he can be voted out next year. Thanks, Claudia. Everybody, great conversation. This is what real talk is all about. Us putting our minds together. This is what a jury is about. If we, you know what I'm saying. The only thing is like Tish James is going she's gonna have to get that information together. He also said it like he wants an independent, right? Or did he say he wants Tish James to do it? Because I think he wants to.
He doesn't have a choice of who does it.
Right.
She's doing it.
Okay. Josina Mark, definitely Claude. I like him a lot. Definitely like him, Claude. Okay. Got you.
He was wildly popular, and
Yeah.
you know,
He was a hot boy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think he was actually one of the few that wanted Trump to win because that would be 4 years quicker to a presidential run. You know, like that guy clearly has presidential eyes.
Yeah. Stephanie said he was our president last year. Exactly. Pinky, I like Cuomo a lot. Exactly. Now, let me ask you all a question. Okay, before I ask this question, I'm going to read what Sharon said. I don't want to diminish any woman who has experienced sexual harassment in the workplace, but don't you think it's somewhat suspicious that all of these are coming out? He was the hero when the pandemic. Let me read the rest of it. Hold on, Sharon. She said he was a hero when the pandemic started and made idiot 45 look like the fool he is. A part of feels that this is a trap. How many of y'all feel that this is a trap out there? Sheila said Cuomo signed the bill for that Me Too movement. I really can't believe he could do that, be that stupid. The only who could grab women by their pocket their pocketbooks and get away with that is 45, Tangerine 45. Pinky said, however, the attorney general is no joke. Exactly. Baker said de Blasio is an idiot. Democrats in general won't work together. Conservatives never stayed each other in office. I like Cuomo. He's smart and pragmatic. Bit Jr. was definitely out of lunch now, knowing his behavior was on shaky ground. Pinky, thank you. He was a pandemic hero. That's why I said he pissed off 46 minus one. Those women was paid off to set him up. Kevin, what's your theory on that?
I don't think anybody was paid off to set him up. Is it possible? Okay, possible. But 3 women, these were, as far as I know, people that close to him in the inner circle to have them paid off. I'm not a big into conspiracy things. Could it happen? Slim to none is my thought. But I still don't know if he really ever committed harassment. Right? Like this is not. It's not fully out there yet. We'll see.
Well,
I give him the benefit of a doubt, like any person.
Yeah, Catherine said before this, his is on the whole cover up. It will come out in due time. I think more people because of his dad. His dad seemed to be more for the people. He was different than his dad. Excuse me. Maybe let me see what your sister's saying. Maybe like Kevin said, we raise our children different, where they don't experience we do, which is why he has more of gaining. Pinky laughed. Kevin, he knows money talks and BS walks. Sharon said Trump was caught on tape saying he grabbed women between the legs. He didn't resign. In fact, while women voted for idiot 45 is large numbers. You're right about that. 65% of white women definitely voted for 45. So I mean, we have the what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. Re-election is in 2020. 22. Thank you, Suzanne. Um, it's all right, Katha, if you're on the phone. It's okay. So, maybe I think she was replying to somebody too anyway. So, this is something that I think is not going away. It's hot and heavy. Yeah, like I was just about to talk. We thought Bill Cosby and I don't know if people thought Harry Weinstein or whatever his name was innocent, but you know, Christina said it's like Bill Cosby. What you do in the dark will always come out to light. Remember, some women are afraid to report harassment and usually wait for the first one to step forward. Yeah, Pinky said once he became single, every woman wanted him with his hands himself. I had to say it. Okay, you got a little crush on Cuomo? Let me stop.
The Love Gov. That was his nickname. The Love Gov. I mean, yeah.
That's what okay. I think he said, "Am I?" Huh?
Yeah.
James said, in my experience, most women say something when the situation presents themselves. Because these women didn't say anything when it first happened, I think he's being set up. Ladies, that's what do you think about that? What do you think about this statement, ladies? James, I'm gonna have to put you on the hot seat with this one right now. He said, in his experience, most women say something when the situation presents itself. Because these women didn't say anything when it first happened, I think he's being set up. Ladies, give me your comments on that. Christine said sometimes we need someone else to take the bullet first. Yeah, I that's agree. I've learned that firsthand myself. Women are always shot down when they speak out. You know it, Bill. I hear you, Pinky. Claudia said, I don't think this just because he supported me too, that he didn't perhaps do as said. You can support movements for personal gain. I don't have any opinion on it. If the incidents has happened, they need to take the appropriate legal course of action. Mark said, not a setup. What's up with these queens politicians? Oh, don't laugh at me, Kevin. It's all good. As a supervisor, I've seen it go both ways. Oh, absolutely, James. I mean, and I'm not saying it doesn't. I think, you know, you know, this is it's a slippery slope because Kevin and I know we've seen women in the NYPD use their effeminate persuasion to get what they want. So you know what I'm saying? Like, how do we call this spade a spade, and how do we call this, a club a club? Um, Setup. You feel it's a setup? Okay, so a lot of y'all feel it's a setup. I think the one thing we shall see. Didn't he make a statement and say that sometimes he could say something that he might have thought, was jokey or flirting or something like that? Christina said, "Look at Me Too movement. It took one to start, and then many women were not afraid to set up and speak out." Let me tell you something. I'm so happy. A lot of y'all, a lot of you all got the Me Too movement. I really am. I think it put a lot of people in check. It made a lot of people say, as they say, You know what I'm saying? You got to watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? So bravo and kudos to those that are protected by that. So
Absolutely.
people will
It
get
was
money for that.
amazing. It was amazing to as that unfolded and Harvey Weinstein unfolded and Epstein unfolded. Like, how did this occur with nobody doing anything about it? All right. And it's, to me, it's mind blowing.
What's so funny? Let me tell you something. With Harvey, the most of the women that he I think indulged with were stars. With Bill Cosby, it seemed like a lot of the women he indulged with, he promised them stardom. Epstein, what was his story? I mean, like I forgot. Like the money. That's right, the money, the money.
He had his woman Maxell who would bring young girls, and they were
Right.
promised. They had jobs and silly things, and he preyed on very, very vulnerable young girls.
Yeah.
Was an awful human being.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing how people like that can exist and become so powerful and do this so often. And nobody stepped forward.
Yeah. James said he's done the same thing with the men and women over the course of his career. So it's not unusual for him, but it is the behavior that makes you as a woman uncomfortable. You got to step up and open your mouth before it gets too far. All right, now. Go on, James. You're going to walk into that. You're going to step in it. uh, Kepler said, so Bill Cosby, yes, Cuomo, Democrats, and I like him. Then it's a setup, double standard. I don't dislike him. Right is right. This is why women don't come out. Sorry, y'all. This is why women don't come out or we're afraid and often get that reputation hurt. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a real slippery slope because you speak out about harassment and it's almost with harassment becomes prove it to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, they And it seems like I really don't know the cases of how much. Matter of fact, I can go to Google. I can ask Google. We'll see what's going on. Uh, Hold on. In 2020, how many sexual harassment cases were filed?
Here is information from EEOC.
Well, that's not what I asked you. At least no. Let's see.
You want to go? No, in the country.
I don't know. I
What are
should
you
have
looking
been.
for?
I was just going to say maybe in New York State. I mean, but I'm looking right here. It says charges allegedly sexual harassment filed. Let's see. Receipts 7,000 resolutions. Charges filed by male 16.2%. I guess by females. Well, yeah, everybody. I implore you to look up these stats. These numbers are. Let's see. Alabama females. I think it's jumping around. Yeah, I think it's jumping around right now. Mm.
Look, it's incredibly tough for a woman to come forward and say something, right? It's
Yeah.
embarrassing. You don't know how you're going to be treated at work. These women who come in publicly, who's going to hire them? I mean, let's really be honest about it, right? This person has come forward and said, I was harassed in the workplace, and people are she's truthful, is she not? Do you want her in your new job? They've exposed themselves to a lot. That's an incredible tough spot. To be in.
It was so funny. There was a woman, I forgot her name. I think it's something like Jerika Duncan or something. Don't quote me. She works for CBS. She's on the news in the morning sometimes. She fills in, and then she's like a correspondent. There was I think a white man that was working with her, and she got him on tape and stuff like that, and he had to go. I mean, she's still balls. I'm sure she'll never date a guy from CBS. I don't know what her sexual preference is, but let me tell you something. He was the things that he was sending her was very inappropriate, talking about you don't do this and you don't do that. But I think it was a borderline like harassment, if not sexual, but definitely harassment. Christina said, not even just prove it to me, Bill, but people say it's the woman's fault. She dressed too provocative or other things. We can talk about that, Christina. Claudia, most women suffer alone and in silence, unfortunately. Ketha, people feel if I like you, someone has to prove the harassment. If people feel like if I like you, someone has to prove it's harassment. If you're not favorable or not as success, then it's true. You know what's so funny? I can't say no one's wrong and no one's right. I mean, let me start with Christina. Uh, it is a prove it to me kind of thing right now, because what did he say? What did you do? We've heard this many times. Well, what did you do to lead him on? You understand what I'm saying? I'm not justifying it, ladies, please, and gentlemen. I'm not justifying that at all. So somebody says, "What did he do to lead him on?" What's the word we heard? No is no, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yes, thank you, Suzanne. Anchor Matt Lauer lost his job, on harassment. Absolutely. So Christina, I get it. It's almost funny, like women, you can't even smile at your workplace. It's almost like we're going to be robots. You come in, if I work with you, good morning, morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want something? No. Like, well, why are you so rigid? Why are you so stiff? Don't want to lose my job. Don't look at me. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Claudia, most women suffer alone in silence, unfortunately. I would agree because with somebody feels something is done inappropriate to them, I think what they go through their mind, should I say something, not say something? What should I do? I think it's just tormenting. And if they're married at home, it is crazy. Catholic people, okay, I think I read that. Um, Pinky says it's a double-edged sword. You are damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Yeah. Stephanie said, I think we have to be careful with making sexual harassment claims in general because an accusation can also ruin a man's career even if it's false. Well, that's done right now. Cuomo look at somebody right now, he may never go into politics again after this. This is it. This might be his last hurrah, you know? Stephanie, but of course, if you're being sexually harassed, definitely come forward. Me personally, I'm hitting my record button and reporting it right away. Exactly. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Oh, wow. So, yeah. So, the moral of this story is that it is definitely a tough place. Sexual harassment or harassment, bullying is someone having power over another. Um, that's part of it too, right, Suzanne? It's not just you got to be able in a position to change, right? Um, yeah. I mean, what do we do, ladies? Um, I wish I had somebody in my camp besides all of us that was. But you know what's so funny? And I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you to be that transparent with me tonight about some of you ladies if y'all have experienced sexual harassment. It sounds like a lot of you have to a certain degree. You understand what I'm saying? So I get it, and you're speaking first-handed, candid about it, and also too, you might not still be over it because it still bothers you, and you might have been overlooked for a position, or a position was not given to you because you didn't give in to the sexual advances of a person. You know, I don't know what to say. Go ahead,
I,
Cliff.
I got to ask something because my ex was like this, and I know several women like this. They hated having female bosses. So I want to get some other people's opinion on that, right? Like my ex-wife always said she could not work for a woman, hated it.
Mm.
Which intrigued me because you really won't get sexually harassed by in general, right? A woman won't do it to a woman. It's usually a guy doing it to you. But I've found a lot of women who do not like working for women, and that was kind of I thought an intriguing thing.
You're right, Claudia. He might not be done. He might not be done. But it's funny. The Democrats and the liberal are definitely throwing the darts at him. So I mean, maybe a few people will still vote for him. Who knows? Kevin, I cannot work for a woman. Pinky says she can't work for a woman.
Why? What's like say like we're talking about all these things about sexual harassment in the workplace. So you think it would be easier for a woman to work for a woman, and I hear the opposite. So I'm more curious, and that's not a question me nor Bill could answer.
Christina said she hates working for a woman too.
Yeah.
Working for women. Yeah. What is it that it's like as they used to say that two queens can't live in the same household? Is it what is that? I mean, women. Why do women not get along? I mean, shit. Some people can't work for men either. No, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Yes.
mean, but I get it because I mean, is it easier to work for men, ladies? I don't know. You have to tell me. Sharon, I think it's awful that women say that about female bosses. Women will put up and tolerate the same abuse uh, and nonsense from a man, but will not from a woman. Mm. Ladies, what I got to say about that? Stephanie, unfortunately, I agree. Although some female managers are just horrible. Wow.
Like I
So
said,
Sharon,
logically, it makes no sense to me.
what do you think? Give me, if you can, and I'm not disagreeing with you, Sharon, by no means. I'm not disagreeing with you, but give me a little small example of what you think some females take from men, but they won't take from a woman. If you can, if you can't, I'm cool with it. But if you can, I've had bad female and male bosses. Got you, got you, got you. I think I've had those too. No, I
Mhm.
don't. Maybe have I had bad female
No,
bosses?
I've had bad male bosses. I've never had a bad female boss, but I've only had a
Yeah,
few. So,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
wait,
Exactly.
actually, I had one short term one in narcotics. She was awful, but it was
Okay.
short
All
term.
right. James said I was harassed by a female boss before, and before I came on the job. It didn't bother me emotionally, but I did know that because I wasn't feeling her, I was suffered by my evaluation. Okay. All right. Stephanie, especially if you're younger and look better, they would literally go out their way to make you job harder or just treat you so nasty. Okay, I've heard that exactly. Pinky, because we both cannot be on our monthly together, and the attitudes of some of us get position of power is awful. Wow, I've heard that though. Okay, I've heard that now. Refreshing my memory. You know, everybody bleeding at the same time. It ain't a good look. Exactly. Wow. Wow. This is a good topic. Sexual harassment. Diana, how are you? And you were a boss. She said, Kevin, that's sad. I was a female boss for 20 years, over 20 years at NYPD, and I was always fair and impartial. I always had many men in my squad's unit, and I was always fair yet firm. I still had to demand my respect. Yeah,
Yeah, as it should be.
exactly. Claudia, some women have to work so hard to become the manager. They become bitter and difficult to work with. No other woman wants to deal with them because she forgot where she came from. Okay. Uh, Claudia, the men that I've worked with have always been business. The women work on emotions and have something to prove and make working in the same environment exhaustible. James, I had a few bad male and female bosses, but the females were the worst. Okay. Sharon, they wouldn't take it from a man. Mm. Wow, you asked a good question there, Kev.
Yeah. Like I said, it always intrigued me. I didn't know why. You think because look, we can't, we worked in a male dominated police department, right? And
Right,
that's
right.
what the job is. So you would think women would absolutely band together, especially when they got into positions of power. And I didn't see it that way.
Well, I think especially within in NYPD, Sheila said I was harassed at the workplace. My supervisor was a woman. I went to personal and got her written up. She harassed even more afterwards. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
harassment's a tough. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to deal with. I've never been harassed. I've had horrible bosses who were just terrible to me, and you're driving into work, your stomach hurts as you're going in. Like I hated, and Bill, I love the job, right? So for me to go into work day after day hating going to work,
Mm-hmm.
it is telling you, something ain't right. And I worked for two people in my career that were like that. They were just god awful human beings, and wanted to make your life miserable. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to work in a lousy, a bitter work environment.
And that's my little power. Sheila said until she went ham and got fired, it stopped, huh? You had to let her know, Sheila. Sharon said, I meant to say women wouldn't tolerate the same poor behavior from another woman. Got you. Got you. Um, when we talk about, I think first, I think when I say when I think about all the bosses I've worked for in my life, right? I remember there was one that I had to curse out, female I had to curse out. Men boss, there's a couple of men bosses I had to kind of check too, but there was a female boss that I had to kind of like go off on. And I felt she was riding me. Oh my God, like just riding me. I don't know. And I'm gonna be fair and say this. I don't know if it was because I was an American black and she was West Indian. And most of the men around at the time and the people around us were West Indian. So I was kind of not a part of the clique. And then it just got to a point one day and I was just like, yo, you like she would come to my post, and this wasn't in NYPD. This was I was doing this was security for a big organization. And if anybody's listening that we work there together, you might know who I'm talking about. And she came and she was just like, "Oh, do this, do that, do this, do that." And I was just like, it was almost like I didn't put a period or something. I'm using something
Yeah.
so minuscule, like, or like my paperwork should be on the left side and not the right side. Or if I asked for something off a car, and I was working security, if I got the decal number, well, you should have walked over there, or you didn't do this, and I was like, oh my god! And then I see her go to somebody else post, and they sitting there keep keying and giggling, and all I see is teeth, and I was like, and he doing worse than me. I couldn't take it one day, but after I told her off, and when I told her off, like Sheila said, once I told her off, I didn't. When I told her, if I get to that point where I had to tell you off, I don't care if you do fire me because I done had it up. Because now you, like you said, Kevin, you're going to work and you're like, oh my god, my stomach is turning, and then it is. Suzanne said maybe it depends on the industry and lack of leadership skills. My support and network by women, particularly Black women, have helped me in my career. Also, West Indian women can be tough. She liked you. Yeah, maybe she did. I don't know, but I didn't like her. You're right. Maybe she is right. Pinky said, not all women are the same. Demanding respect is one thing, but when the ego takes over, it becomes hard. I was taught you cannot play in the word. Play in the word. Yeah, nitpicky. Pinky, oh, she wanted you and you were not interested. Well, you're right. I probably wasn't. Sweetheart, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about sexual harassment in the workplace. And, oh, I'm sorry, you're on the phone. Oh, yeah, we're talking about sexual harassment in the workplace. And the comments and the questions and the statements are real good in here.
That's a good topic.
Exactly. Yep.
Malika,
yeah,
does
right.
he sexually harass you in the workplace?
No.
Exactly. Not at all. So Kevin, and let me flip it for all the NYPD people in here, or just people that don't know about the NYPD thing. Diana said, as a female Black boss, I would always had to prove myself not just to my subordinates, but my superiors as well. I worked my entire career; nothing was handed to me. It was what it is. I totally agree with you because I know there are some uh, uh, women like yourself, D, that you know you got shut up. Kevin and I, we worked for Inspector Stevens when she was an inspector. They tried to hurt that woman.
And I thought she was one of the best people I ever worked for. So
absolutely, never hurt me. Look, she took care of me.
And to you, Diana, thank you for putting up with it, right? Because somebody's got to break it, right? Like you're in a male-dominated thing. If you remember when we came on and like that patrol guide, right? They still had in the patrol guide. What were female cops who watched prisoners? They had a different name for them, right? What was matrons, right?
Yeah,
we had matrons. They had a long skirt. It takes a long time to change that, and then it takes strong women who can put up with a lot of BS. To get it done. Yeah. There's no other way around it. It's not just nobody's going to snap their fingers and a male-run institution is going to become a perfect place for any woman to work. It takes time. So thank you for taking your time and putting up with it.
Yeah, because what's so funny. I mean, and Kevin knows this, and Diane, this, and any other female officer knows this. Certain in NYPD, they didn't think you could do the job. I've had guys come to me. It was crazy. I've had white officers come to me and tell me they didn't want to work with a white female, and I was like, oh, but you'll drink with her after hours, laugh and giggle in her face, but you don't want to work with her, so you'll work with me. You may not want to work with me because I'm Black, but you'll work with me because I'm a man. But you won't work for her because she's white, because she's a female. So it was just like, okay, I get it. Sharon said, just like Kevin, I've had bad male and female bosses, Black, white, and Asian. I've experienced racism and sexism from white men and white women. It's difficult as a woman and woman of color. It's stressful to work in that environment and you hate going to work. Every day when it's like that, I don't think a lot of people have the skills to manage people. Claudia, I agree that most people don't know how to be managers of other people. Yeah, and I think that's a special talent. It's a special talent. In NYPD, we know you could take a test. I
Yeah.
don't know how other jobs you could take a test and you become a boss. And I've known I've been blessed not to work with so many, but we've seen a lot of you like really like he's the worst.
Incompetent, arrogant bosses. We've all worked
Yeah,
for them, you know?
and the worst thing, yeah. I mean, I never forget. There was a guy that I used to work with. We were cops undercovers together, and he became a boss. And then all of a sudden, I saw him how he started trying to change the rules. And I told him, I was like, "Yo, what are you doing different?" Like, yo, I
Mhm.
lost so much respect for him. I saw him one day after we retired, and if I wasn't in such a good place, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, what's up? You don't call me." I really wanted to say, "I don't like you. I don't like you."
Yeah.
We were in Woodbury Commons. I swear, I just wanted to tell him so bad, like, "Yo, you are the worst. You're soft. The worst thing to work in the field that we were working in. I mean, especially in NYPD, you're not supposed to be soft. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, soft with a capital T, soft. You know what I'm saying? It just,
Bill, are you
yeah.
being harassed?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
I'm going to file something with
Exactly.
HR.
Exactly. Exactly. No, exactly. And then there are people. You're right, James. There's the bosses with no people skills. I've worked with some of them. You know.
And there was no, way around it, right? A
Yeah.
lieutenant is always right with a sergeant. A sergeant's always right with the cop. Not because they're right, because rank is right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how the police works.
I had one guy that was moody. Oh my God. I worked his supervisor was so moody. And then I was asking one day, I said, "You all right?" He said, "Yeah." Do I seem all right? I was like, "No. You, you seem like you got something in your behind. You got to
Yeah.
go to the bathroom. You constipated."
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. So, all these things play factors. It really does. Uh, it's a crazy thing. So I really appreciate all the comments and the questions and the things we see. Sexual harassment is very big. There's different factors with this. There's I like somebody, I don't like them. Uh, we're talking about Cuomo 45. We're talking about clothing. We're talking about appropriate behavior in the workplace. We're talking about not being respected once you make a complaint. So there are a lot of things that are actually prevalent that lead to a certain thing. Just inappropriate touching. Um, you know, boss. Like yeah, but I've seen some women that work for certain men. Personal secretaries or assistants, and they'd be like, "I love my boss." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love them. They have a certain relationship. Pinky said, "Keep it real, Bill. You have to have people skills and leadership skills. If you have if you have either, you should say no to the job." But again, money talks. The higher you go, the money. Yeah, the more money you make. Exactly. Stephanie said, "What happens when sexual harassment is woman to woman? Is that taken so serious?" I think it's probably maybe taken now. It might be. I don't know the stats on it. I don't know the statistics unless anybody out there wants to check that. But that's the whole thing. That's what I said earlier too, Steph. It's just like if I'm in a workplace and I'm use corporate America or anyway NYPD. I don't Oh, you look nice in your uniform. If I'm homophobic, do I and the guy tells me that, am I considered like? And I say that's a sexual harassment, which it is, because the definition of sexual harassment that by the definition standard, by any other thing, come on, it's just he just gave me a compliment. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Uh, but by the workplace, I felt uncomfortable. So, what are the procedures? Is anybody in HR out here working? What are the procedures during if you make a complaint against somebody sexual harassment, and they ask you, they say, "Kevin, um, Sharon or Suzanne or Stephanie a compliment. He was like, yeah. I said she looked nice. Oh, well, she felt uncomfortable. So that's sexual harassment. I mean, is it like a
Well,
warning in your folder or something like that?
yeah. For something like that, it's a warning. For like that kind of a comment, you'll get a warning, and you're told like she's not comfortable with that. You need to curtail your conversation. And if you never have another comment like that again, there's no problem ever. It's not.
Yeah.
That's at warning level. You know, you didn't force yourself on, or you didn't. You know, it was a one-time comment. You're good.
Yeah.
But there are several things you can do as the person, right? Because they're like New York City, right? There's an equal opportunity entity in New York City. There's a state one and there's a federal one. You can go to any one of the three. You can go internally into your place of work to HR or whatever they have to report, but you can also go to externally. There's three organizations. I put one of them out there for the stats federally in the chat, but there's a state EEO, there's a federal EEO, and there's a city EEO. You can go right to them directly. You don't have to report it to your job. So there's at least choices. I don't know how well it works. I don't know how well the system works. I can't vouch for any of it.
Right.
And I will say it's a tough road.
Yeah. Ladies, gentlemen, whomever, I send prayers on that, and I wish you the best. I probably most like a lot of times I would suggest maybe go to an outside agency too, not just internally if you are being harassed. And sometimes, like do your homework, be your own investigator, tape, record, you know what I'm saying?
But the rules are recording, right? There's a difference of recording in office when you're there.
Yeah.
There's a difference if you leave a recording device and you leave the room. There's a difference if you're recording over a phone. Every state has laws on these things.
That's true.
And you can break a law on that. There's who's the famous one? It was the years ago, the former Westchester prosecutor who bugged her house and her boat because her husband was cheating on her. And then she got herself into trouble because she broke federal wiretapping statutes. It was to catch her husband cheating, but you still did it.
I think in New York State, I think you can't really tape somebody without telling them you're taping them, right?
No, you can. I can. One party consent. So if me and you are sitting in the room, I can record the conversation every single time.
But it has to be a consent.
No. One of the parties in the conversation has to consent. Me, I can be the consent.
Oh, really?
If it's just you and I, Bill, talking, I can record it.
Okay.
If I walk out of the room and leave the recording and you and Malika are talking, no good.
Right. Okay.
That's the difference. If it's audio is different than video, audio is stricter than video.
Okay. All right.
And then, like I said, over the phone, it's why, every company you call up and they say, this is going to be recorded for whatever purposes, they have to let you know. Because if you're in a state where it's two-party consent, like New Jersey's two-party. So we were sitting in New Jersey, Bill, both you and I have to consent to it.
Exactly. Right.
That's the difference.
Suzanne said, document every incident, document. What with date, time, and description of incident. Absolutely.
Yeah. Even if you don't plan on filing, document the incident, put a note into an internal file to yourself. Like something may happen a little bit strange today, you document that and you put it down. You might not need to use it. You might not want to, but if things then progress, you've been chronologically documenting it for days or weeks, and it shows a lot more. Right.
So everybody, listen. Hopefully, you none of you experience it, and if you have, I'm so sorry, and I hope you've come to peace with it, and done things like that. Christina said, "Can someone say I don't consent to recording to make it invalid?" Kevin?
Nope. No.
Well, it's so funny. Yeah. And like I said, I don't know really. I've never had to tape.
And how would you know the person was recording, right? So you're talking about two different. Are we talking about? I put it on the table, the recording device, and say, "Bill, I'm going to record our conversation," and Bill says no. What Bill can do is not talk. That's, we don't have a conversation. But if I have a recording device in my pocket and I'm not telling Bill, Bill's stuck.
And I mean, please, if right now we have Google and Siri and Lexus, whoever, ask them, find out. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying Kevin's not right. I don't know. So please check that out and get back to us and let us know. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I appreciate all the responses and the conversations. This is what's up. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to it, share, tell a friend. Keep us going. If you're right now on social media on Facebook, share it. Let people know what we're doing, what I'm doing, how we're doing it. Exactly, Christina. Wow. I want to shift the topic a little bit before we get out of here. She says, "Thanks for the clarity, Kevin. Appreciate it." I sent Kevin something about. Sheila said it was wonderful. You got a dog, Kevin?
My girlfriend's got a couple of dogs.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody is going to be going out there pooping, scooping later and all walking. No. Somebody make her get your little doggy bags and going out there
playing with each other.
Yeah.
So, I sent Kevin. I don't know for those out here who don't know about Ronald Green. He was a man in Louisiana that was killed by the hand of police. Kevin, are you able to bring it up?
I don't have a video though, Bill. The articles you sent me were pictures, and the audio that the AP quotes from, they didn't release the audio. They never played it.
Did I send you anything with the parents talking about it or anything?
I don't know if you sent me anything with the parents, but if you actually, the one thing I show is, I got to find it again, the photo of his car and the photo of him. That I've never done an investigation into a car accident to determine, but here this is his car.
Okay.
I'll share that.
Who's Kevin Samuels, Stephanie? So I'm lost on that person right now. Let's see. Let me show this car. Enhance it.
That's the car. And then we go with, where's the photo of him? No, it's in the other article. Hang on. So that's the car accident that they're saying he got hurt in.
Okay. Yes.
Wait, there's a photo of his face in one of these three. I got 3 articles up. I'm sorry.
All right. So basically, look at this, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave that on for.
We apologize if this is too graphic for you.
Long because of course now I should have warned beforehand.
Yeah, sorry.
Of course, now my computer froze.
Okay, yeah.
But that's the car.
So basically, for this story, we're just trying to let everybody know that this gentleman was supposedly. I don't know, Kevin, if you want to read the article real quick for some people, if you want to.
Well, I mean,
give them what the caption of the story is. Yeah.
Audio from Louisiana trooper reportedly describing beating a black man contradicts initial police account of his death. The police account of his death is he died from his car accident. That the trooper had been. It took a while for this to come to light. The trooper was suspended and then died in a motor vehicle accident himself. I think it might have been a suicide.
What's that caption say right there? CNN says right there, Louisiana state trooper. Can you read
it? The trooper died of a car wreck later on after this, when he was finally outed for what had happened. Because this was a pursuit from 2019, and it didn't come out until August of 2020.
Right.
You know me, Bill. I like to give the cop a benefit of doubt on everything, but I have a hard time saying that car looks like his
Doesn't
face.
yeah, yeah. Sharon, thank you. Tell Belinda I said hi. Stephanie said the image consultant guy in the viral video who told the lady that she's a four blank best that the man she desires doesn't want her. Let's see. Yeah, everybody, this is a case right now where they're saying they have video. I think when one trooper was talking about, yeah, he was kicking him and punching him and dragging him.
Yeah, there's audio of that. The AP says they have the audio. They haven't released it, and they said they had a couple of inside sources within the police department listen to it to verify it. But my guess is they haven't fully verified it because they haven't released it. I don't know. And the police department says they can't release it until the federal investigation concludes.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. We talk about this stuff time and time again. And then, Kevin, you had sent me something too. I don't know if you want to discuss that about. So, everybody, we're going to be watching that story definitely closely to keep tabs on that. Also, if you look on that article, if you Google that article, you will scroll down and it also says that I think an officer called another one a monkey or something out of Louisiana or something else because they always have other stories that go on. Also, what do you guys think about Texas and Mississippi? The no mask mandate. We could definitely talk about. Okay, so yeah, we can watch. Definitely, we'll follow that story. We can talk about the no mask state. Wow, what do you think about that, Kevin?
I'm tired of wearing my mask, but I wear my mask.
Right.
And it's that simple, right? Like I went last week, got my second shot vaccine, knocked me out, gave me a good fever for a day or change. But
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the second shot can be a little tough, was what I keep seeing and hearing.
Malika said, what were some of your symptoms?
Fever.
A fever? Just a fever?
Yeah.
Sore arm?
I mean, it hurts the arm, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Who cares?
You Kevin Branzetti, you're tough.
No, but who cares? It's like, like, dude, I got, I mean, I'm not playing anymore because nobody's playing, but I play hockey. I block shots all the time. I got welts on my body after games from pucks. Like, it's a needle.
Yeah. Well, somebody told me, they said it's equivalent to getting punched in the arm for your birthday when you were a kid.
Yeah, but that's not that big of it. If the punch is the whole thing, it's like I said, the second shot can give you the flu kind of thing. Like it really does. If you're going for it, I would say just be prepared for the next day that you may be staying home in bed.
Some people said they had chills and stuff.
Yeah, Malika said she heard some people said they have chills and stuff like that.
So and think about if your parents are going, like my parents are going together, they're getting the shots together, right? So now you may have to pay attention to that for your family. If your parents are doing this together, or your mother or grandmother lives alone, and they're getting that second shot, you might want to be there with them that second day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, how many of you out there listening will get your shots or have already gotten your shots, or you're not going to get your shots? Yeah, I'm really I'm twisting and tossing and turning. You got it for being a worker, right? You were able to get it.
Yeah, I'm still in law enforcement. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah. So
I was able. I got. Somebody asked. It's the Moderna shots I got. Now look, going to no mask, you're just hurting people, right? Is the mask 100% effective? No, but I sat on a call months ago with this professor. It's a university down south, and he's one of the top 10, scientists in the world when it comes to COVID. And he was like, "Yeah, of course the mask isn't perfect, but if you think about what it does is, it's like a screen, right? If you have a water gun and I shot the screen window in your house, there's plenty of holes in it, but that water gun just dies, and that's what this does. That's what your mask does. It kills the saliva, the moisture from your mouth from shooting in the air to other people, and it just dies right then and there. Because that's how we get COVID, right? It's airborne. It's got to be out and in there. The mask is a simple thing. Put your damn mask on.
Yeah,
Right.
because I mean, there's some people out there with juicy lips, talking and spitting and shit. Cover up, So like, like James says, he says, hold on. James says, always Texas ass stupid. Texas still has a high infection and death rate. Wow. James said, I have a good friend who took the Moderna shot a week and a half ago and tested positive yesterday.
Yeah, they're not. No, but no. They're testing positive from the shot.
Really?
In your system, you're so yeah. They tell you don't. And this look, this is all still new. But what I was told, you don't go get tested. You have to wait a while because the actual COVID is in your system, so you're going to test positive.
So, but I thought it
doesn't
wasn't.
mean
I thought it was like the flu shot. When they give you the flu, they put the flu in your system, the virus in your system. I thought with COVID that wasn't the case.
There's something they're giving you, but they said you're going to test positive.
It's not COVID. I mean, the doctors and nurses that we talked to said that it's not COVID, but I don't know. I don't want to speak on it, but I think it kind of mimics it.
His friend might have a false positive or he's positive, right? Mm-hmm. I don't also think we can't get the disease. Is that we won't get sick when we have it as well, right? So that's why, like, I still have to wear a mask because I can become a carrier. I can catch the disease and I can infect dozens of people. So I wear the mask.
Right.
You know, this is all still new science. We just don't know.
Yeah, what's so funny? I see people out here partying, whites, blacks, Spanish. I don't care what ethnicity. I see people out here partying. I don't get it. Like, yo, I'm Malika and I are not the ones right now. I will tell you that. Christina said, as a teacher, I can get one. I'm going to at some point, and I wear 2 masks. Christina, we're gonna have to bring you back on the show because we're gonna find out. They're trying to open up the schools. What's your take on that? Pinky, wearing that mask will be a part of my attire for a long time because this virus will be around for a long time. And not everyone is going to take the vaccine. You're right about that, Pinky. The mask, coordinate. Like my man said in the movie, coordinate. Get your mask and your outfit together. Sheila, she said, I got my first shot and I didn't feel anything. Well, Sheila, you little power. You that chick. You ain't gonna feel that. She said they are testing positive because they probably already had it. Maybe that's a good point. James, Moderna's and Pfizer use RNA technology, which doesn't give you a weakened virus to boost your immunity system. Stephanie, will you, Bill Forster, be at any parties this summer? Nope, not at all. Steph said, and what do you guys think about the vaccine passport idea? Wow. I think if you're going to wear your mask, I don't think it's not anybody's business. I mean, COVID kills. When we start talking about, it being on your passport, that's just like somebody saying, well, if you have HIV, should somebody know it, or should you have this, or should you have that? I don't know if that's maybe delving too much in somebody's personal, but remember HIV was a big thing when people was like, don't you spit on me, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna give it to me. But we didn't wear masks with that. It was just like, yo, don't be sexually transmitted, don't have sex with somebody, or because Kevin, we were in the height of that at the time when, they'd be like, yo, let us know if you got, a needle, don't prick us, or if you have HIV, let me know, Mm-hmm. Now people don't even care. To some, HIV is like a cold. I don't know if I would go that far. I might send it to you. There was a thing on social media. White lady didn't want to wear a mask. I showed Malika, didn't want to wear a mask. She seemed like she was about to get her feelings handed to her. But they eventually got her off the airplane. So I really don't know. I think right now the masks definitely need to be worn in the airports. I just hope people had some maturity. But it's almost like some people are not wearing a mask. You can't be around these people, and you get mad because I saw a thing, another video was sent to me. Got two guys on a train. One guy didn't have his mask on, and another guy started coughing. So the other guy was like, "Yo, put your mask on." So the dude was like, "Yo," he's like, "I ain't wearing my mask." And then he invited him to his privates. That's the worst thing you do, invite somebody to your privates. And then he gave him the hands. I don't think the moral of that story, I think he won't ever invite somebody to his privates unless he starts swinging first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Christina said, my school has been shut down 3 times for COVID. I have an exemption till the end of the year. So I'm pretty good. Don't know what's going to happen in September, especially with the new chancellor. Exactly. Gerald Santiago, still kill and still kill and cover, still kill. So what's next? Exactly. Because they're proposing that a vaccine passport for access to concerts, etc. Well,
Yeah,
I
I
know how
don't
to
know what that
download
will
music. I
do.
ain't going to no concerts. No.
I just don't know what that will do, right? Like, I think we just don't understand it fully. But my understanding is I could still catch the disease and be a carrier and then infect other people. The vaccine doesn't mean like I got a shield over me that
Yeah,
protects me, does
I
it?
think the
Maybe
the
I'm wrong.
vaccine. I think the vaccine is a false claim. Or like I think people will think some people might think you get the vaccine. Dun dun dun. I'm going out here without my mask now. I can't catch it. You can. Like, don't get caught in that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Somebody said because they're proposing that vaccine passport for access to concert. Exactly. We shall see. Exactly. Nitty said, Gerald, he said, remember people didn't want to play with magic at that time? Absolutely. Yo, you're right, James, when real goes wrong. Sheila, if you go to the party and you get COVID, don't go to the hospital and overwhelm the healthcare system. Go back to the party.
I like it.
yo,
Go help each
yo,
other.
I ain't mad at you, Sheila. Yo, you're right. Even stay alive long enough to go back to the party and give it to the people that yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Uh, Malika said hi, Sheila. She said, Pinky said, you are correct, Kevin. I was told you can still get the virus from reasons we still have to wear the mask. There are no strands coming everywhere, it seems. Uh, Gerald, so I think just because of history, we know how we don't trust the system. You're right. So let me ask you a question, Gerald, Pinky. Are you going to get the vaccine? Stephanie, are you going to get the vaccine? Let us know. Um,
You're still holding
let's
out, Bill?
I, you know, I sent you the thing
I
today.
know.
I might go. I might try to go tomorrow. Um, I, you know, I'm really confused, man. I really am. I probably will get it because I think I got vaccinated when I was young. With stuff before you had to. I think there's some underlining thing going on with this. I don't know. There's powers that be that are trying to, tell us what they should do and they shouldn't do. The gates. There's a whole lot of conspiracy theories with this. A lot of people think this is something that they put in our systems to track us and monitor, to control us, to kill us. Let me tell you that there's so many different conspiracy theories, and I don't know. What the one thing I do know is I don't think I should be scheduled to. To live in fear and not feel like I can't go around somebody. Um,
All right. This
Suzanne
is
said,
my.
I'm scheduled for.
I got to pause for a minute.
Go ahead, you do your thing. I can talk. Yeah, Suzanne said, I'm scheduled for the vaccine. Um, uh, no, I don't. Stephanie said, no, I don't plan to until there comes a time where it's forced upon me for like work, etc. Are you working from home, Stephanie, or do you have to go in? Pinky, I'm still on the fence. I am a cancer survivor, and there are too many unknowns. The warp speed of bringing it out, I think I want to wait. Yeah, something called warp speed it really doesn't tickle my fancy unless it's my paycheck. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time when I want to hear some warp speed. Otherwise than that, I'll go slow, you know, and yeah, I don't know everybody.
I remember Saida told us the technology's been in place for about 15 or 20 years.
Yes, like we were told on one of the shows, this is a time when you can go back to one of the podcasts Malika did with nurses and a pharmaceutical lady. She told us that this process was already in place for a while, and maybe what's not known to us is known to people that need to know basis. I think so. I don't know or something. I don't want to end up on a commercial 10 years from now saying, oh yeah, call 800-333-1111 if you took COVID 19 vaccinated for compensation. You're right. But it might happen though, because you can't be the only person in the world. I don't think that's not going to take COVID. I think eventually, and now it comes back to what you're saying about getting into parties and concerts. They might make pretty soon. Yo, yo, she ain't take the COVID. I mean, think about it now. You meet somebody, yo, you got the shot? Nah, a word like I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's like, wait a minute, that's like the new protection. That's the new condom. You ain't get the shot. Like, what you gonna walk around with a temperature thing gauging people's head? Yo, oh, okay, you 97. Okay, like who's kissing now? You know what I'm saying? Like, there should never be anybody drinking behind somebody now. You know what I'm saying? The only person I'm drinking behind is Malika. Otherwise of that, I don't even want you touching my shit. Don't even hand me a drink. Um, she said, James said, let me see, uh, too many unknown regarding this virus. Stay masked up and follow the protocols, but I'm not taking the vaccine. No long testing, and too many medicines have been shown to have lethal side effects. Absolutely. Let me finish reading. That's what I had to do. Just to get closer. Side effects. Did you take it? Did you take medicine? If you did and got cancer, you're entitled to compensation. Yeah. Um, Pinky said the Johnson and Johnson was sued a while back for their talcum powder that caused cancer. I definitely don't want nothing for that. Yo, imagine that, like talcum powder causing cancer, all kind of stuff. Yo, we don't know. I think it's the luck of the draw. I think I might need to take it, otherwise I'm just gonna be in the cocoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't touch me, stay away from me. Uh, like, we're talking about 5G still a problem. There's so many different things that's causing people to feel a certain way. Like, um, I don't know what to tell you guys. What I do know to tell you is that this is Real Talk Chronicles, and I'm your host, Bill Forster, with my co-host, Kevin Branzetti. And, we appreciate the support. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Tell a friend what we're doing. I'm here. Happy, this is Women's Month. So salute to all you ladies. Respect to all of you. I think that's why I told Kevin we're going to talk about, the sexual harassment thing with Cuomo.
You didn't tell me. There was no warning. don't try to make that up.
Somebody said no, there never is. You just talk about
no.
It's talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Suzanne
said,
"Do you know earlier?" It has nothing to do with this.
No, you're right. I don't really. That's the one thing. She is right, and Kevin is right. The one thing about Real Talk Chronicles, all the conversations are organic and straight. Listen, you're gonna think with this show. If you're not a thinker, then this is the wrong show for you. So I get it. But if you're gonna listen to this show, you will be thinking. So that's the truth. Suzanne said, "Do you know what is in the chicken and beef we are eating, or the seafood we are ingesting? Yet we eat it without knowing." You're right, Suzanne. I mean, I'm gonna eat me some chicken. I lick my fingers and all that.
The difference is with the chicken or the meat is we can cook it, and if there's something bad or evil in it, it's burned out.
All right, now that's
go.
Kevin's answer. James said, he says, I have a holistic the doctor, and I follow her. People that have caught COVID, I gave them the recommendations, and they got cured quickly with no hospitalization. I mean, Malika and I, we're big on that with the sea moss and stuff like that, right? And things of that magnitude, and ginger and all kind of stuff. I'm listen. If I do a war dance, if it caused me not to get COVID, trust me, I'm not playing and stuff. Sheila said, I just want to be able to go to the supermarket without walking around like Charlie Chaplin. I get it. I feel you on that. Paula, what's up, Paula? How are you? Good evening, my brothers. I hope all is well. On the vaccine, I'm still traumatized from the Tuskegee experience that they gave my ancestors. I'm not taking it, and I have too many pre-existing conditions. Um, I understand that, and you know, anybody pre-existing conditions to take it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't tell you anything about the Tuskegee stuff because I understand that, especially people of color, we're very skeptical about that. But I guess you know, to each his own. This is a real to each his own comment and uh kind of thought process. Who I can't tell you what to do. I mean, we've had doctors. I think I will go back and listen to the doctors and the nurses that um have spoken. First responders are taking it. Of for essential employees are taking it. My cousin was on. She took it. She's a nurse. Her husband's law enforcement. He has to take it. You know what I'm saying? Or not had to take it, but he took it. So some of you out here have taken it, Sheila. Like you said, you got it. Uh,
I get being skeptical, and rightfully, for a lot of reasons, people should be skeptical. I think the difference here with this one is we've seen the effects of the disease.
Of the death.
So, like, we get lots of vaccinations that, from a young kid to an adult, that you really don't. I'm getting vaccinated for measles and other things that I don't know what the real effects are. We have seen the effects of COVID for a year now, and how hard it has hit some people, how many people it has killed, and how quickly and easily it spreads. So that's why I lean more towards this one. If you're gonna get a vaccine, this is the one to get.
Absolutely. Like I said, thank you, Suzanne. Good talking to you. Good. Thank you. Sheila said absolutely. So everybody, with that being said, do your research, bring us some information, come back to us. Maybe next. I'm here Monday by myself. Maybe I might get Malika to come in and chop it up with me, and we'll have a Foster's conversation.
Check my calendar.
Oh, ain't that something? She has to check her calendar. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sheila said, I'm so terrified of this disease. Pinky, yeah, but Kevin, because there are so many strands, scientists cannot keep up. They cannot sure these vaccines can help. They're not sure. Do you guys think COVID is man-made? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it is. I think there's some laboratory, Stephanie, and that question was by Stephanie. Yeah, I think it was. But who knows?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think I really think all diseases are kind of man-made. Somebody in this, making concoction, like making a drink. Pour this, pour that, pour this. Oh, tasty. Then pour this, pour that. Oh, blah, Frankenstein. That's it. Everybody, this is Real Talk Chronicles. I'm your host, Bill Forster. That's my co-host, Kevin Branzetti. We're going to get out of here. Kevin, we got 2 minutes. Give him something nice to think about, until you see you again next Wednesday.
Nice thing. Well, for those of you bosses out there, be a little nicer at work to your employees is kind of the discussion from earlier today.
Yeah.
Maybe we got to train our kids. If our jobs aren't training us how to be good bosses, are we training our kids and teaching them how to be good bosses when they get older in life? So maybe that's the perspective we need to take. Go after our kids, talk to them, teach them about being good people and good bosses. for those of us who are older and our kids are in that spot, give them a good kick in the ass and remind them about being a good person.
Yeah. Ass kicking is never, it's not a bad thing. Exactly. But, we need to start talking about, reprimanding our children. Has that gone too far? Not hitting your child. I mean, do you agree with that or disagree with that? Um, let's see. Before we get out of here, I'm just gonna read the comments and see what everybody says before we hit that road. Um, Pinky said, "I agree with you, Bill. They are created to destroy races of people." Sheila, Bill, and Kevin, great show. Thank you. Stephanie laughed it out. I'm so weak, like making a drink though. Exactly. Thanks, guys. Stephanie, great show. James, take care. Be safe. Stephanie, my fave cops. Appreciate you all. Everybody, listen. Cover up. Prayer. Prayers are beautiful. Believe in your higher power. Be nice. There's too much nastiness going on in the world. Be careful. Watch your back. Uh, love yourself. Then you can love somebody else. That's the most important thing. And I'll see you Monday with maybe if Malika has her schedule, checks her schedule, she'll be with me, and we'll talk. If you need a website, that's the lady. Kevin, anything on the kids, and we talk about those.
Yeah, you can always check out my website, the National Child Protection Task Force, ncptf.org, or Google my name and you'll find it. If you're looking to get involved or wish to donate money to help, we're a nonprofit entity that's out there fighting the fight. We help with lots of things, but we help with live abduction cases of kids. So, a police department needs help. We have a ton of people we throw at it, services, so we can bring kids home quickly. We take on cases that have been stale and sitting on the shelf for a while. We're doing advocacy. We're doing victim services. We're doing a lot of things. We're trying. And everybody at this point still is all volunteers. Not a single person gets paid.
Awesome, bravo. I might even have to join that thing into that. Paula said, Bill, did you hear about the commissioner on WBLS on Sunday? Interesting combo. No, if you get that, I'm going to have to look it up. Congratulations to Rodney Harrison, too. Surprise, surprise. We might be trying to get him to come on for his promotion. Pinky said, thank you for a great show. Be safe and have a great evening. Absolutely. Christina, good night. Always good to see you. Here and see you. Absolutely. Everybody, we out of here. Talk to you later. Real Talk Chronicles. Share it. See y'all later.
Night.
Bye-bye. Night.